Yo, you better back up out of my personal bubble, dude, or this needle and your butt have got a date with destiny. Get out of here, man. Jeez. Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the interwebs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the nether in another episode of modded Minecraft from the FoolCraft 2 server. What's going down, everybody? Oh man, I'm having way too much fun in the nether this morning, guys. It is looking completely crazy around here, isn't it? That's because last episode we made this amazing set of armor. This supremium armor set that gives us, well, basically night vision, right? And that makes the nether look completely crazy. Hey, Magma Cube guy, what are you doing? What are you doing up there, man? Jeez, get down from there, you freaking weirdo. Floating all the way up to the top of the nether. Anyway, I'm here for a very specific reason, guys. I've been searching around the nether for this island. This is a slime island in the nether, and I'm here because I need this jazz called congealed magma slime blockage, okay? And the reason that I need this magma slime blockage is because today we are making ourselves a ridiculously powerful weapon using Tinker's Construct, and I need some of this congealed magma slime to actually achieve that. And there's a rocket on top of one of these things' heads. That's awesome. So yeah, I thought I'd kick off today's episode down here because it looks completely mental, and I'm having loads of fun. Can't wait to play modded with you guys today, man. As I said, we're going to try and make ourselves an epic weapon, but also today, guys, I want to try something very interesting. The beginning of this series, Stress Monster Scar and I, we were talking about making a base underwater in much the same style as the Bioshock world. You guys remember we were talking about that? Well, I think it's about time that we start working on that base. Our Team Serious cave is absolutely ridiculous right now, man. It is completely filled up with junk. We need a proper base to live on this server, and I want to start working on that, and I want to find a way to basically excavate 128 by 128 blocks worth of ocean. And I've kind of done my research. I think I know what I need to do. I haven't quite figured it out completely yet, but we're going to be doing some experimenting today with a couple of interesting modded blocks from RF Tools. And if I can find a way to excavate a huge section of the ocean, then Team Serious, we can start working on a proper base for ourselves. Going to be absolutely amazing. So we got lots of stuff to do today, my friends. Let me collect all of this disgusting congealed slime, get my butthole back home, and then we're going to make an OP weapon, baby. Bring it on, fools. You want to kill the ReNDoG? I'm going to take you down to Chinatown, you bastards. For the ReNDoG from Exuma. I am immediately suspicious, cyberdogs. Of course, it was our fellow logfella that melted me with a beef turret in the previous episode, and I suspect this might be some sort of a trap. I don't really want to open this thing. There's no clues to anything. I don't see any pipes or things coming out of it. There's a neutronium compressor over here, which I think is probably our neutronium compressor. Exuma, what are you up to, my fine friend? Shall we just crank this thing open? Oh my goodness, what is this? Sunblade? Holy bajingo, look at this thing. Cold-blooded, unbreakable, glowing, sharpestest, hastestest, necrotic X, fiery 5, knockback X. Oh my goodness, this is an absolutely insane weapon. 519 attack damage. What? Is Exuma Void giving this to us? Oh, I know what's happening. He feels terrible for what he did to me in the previous episode, as he should. That freaking butthole. He gave us a sword. That's pretty sweet, man. Sunblade. That's cool. Totally not a lightsaber. This is epic. Okay, well, I guess this sword must be ridiculously powerful, right? 500 damage? I mean, that's kind of sweet. I feel like this might come with strings attached, though. You know, in this FoolCraft series, no gift comes without strings attached or something. And I'm assuming if I actually use this, I might have to owe Exuma something. I tell you what, guys, why don't we try a little something today? Wow, this looks awesome. Scar's been working so hard on the fluid car factory. Looks amazing. Let's try something today. Let's see if we can make a weapon better than this lightsaber. Even though it doesn't look like is going to be possible. We're going to try. That's going to be our goal. So thank you, Exuma. I appreciate the lightsaber. I shall be using the lightsaber, I suppose, until I make myself a better weapon. And I must warn you, my fellow log fella, I am going to shove that lightsaber directly up the crack of your ass. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Anyway, guys, let's get down to some Tinker's Construct crafting over here. I've got pretty much everything that we need, I think, for the start of today's episode. We're going to be making ourselves a Tinker Construct weapon, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to be making something called a rapier. And there's a bunch of other weapons that we could make for ourselves, but I've been doing my research. The interesting thing about a rapier is that a rapier actually ignores armor. It goes straight through armor. So all of this OP armor that these fools are wearing on the server, the rapier is just going to ignore it. It's just going to go straight for their person. And that sounds to me like a really, really good way to deal with the tomfoolery on the server. See what I did there? Tomfoolery? Anyway, what we need to make a rapier is a tool rod pattern, a crossguard pattern, and of course the sword blade. And we're going to be making these things out of different materials, because in Tinkers we can make different stuff out of different other stuff, and that makes us really, really cool stuff, or something like that. So let's head over to the part builder over here. We're going to kick things off with the tool rod pattern. We're going to be making the tool rod pattern out of bones. Okay, so we're going to have a bone tool rod, and that's going to give us something called wait, hang on, let's just make it and see if we get it. This gives us something called fractured. I'm going to show you what that means in a second. The next thing that we want to make over here is the crossguard pattern. We're going to be making this out of paper, and we need to do this so that we can put a whole bunch of stuff onto our new sword, right? It gives us modifiers. That's what paper does. Now, if you are confused about Tinker's Construct, much like I am most of the time, there's something called Materials and You. It's a book that you can make. Very simple to make. All you need is a blank pattern and a book. And this thing kind of breaks Tinker's Construct down for you. It's a very in-depth book. But if we go over here to the modifiers, we will see a ton of different things that we can actually put on our Tinker's Construct tools, right? And what we're going to be focusing on for our beautiful new rapier are a couple of these really important things over here. Firstly, we're going to be putting necrotic on this thing, and that actually gives us life leech. Whenever we attack, we're going to gain life back, right? So if we're going to be in a war with a fool, we want to be able to heal ourselves up while we're attacking. We're also going to be doing something called embossment, which is why I was collecting all of that slime. Essentially what embossment does is we can, we can add a trait of another part to our current weapon without swapping out the part. So you can basically like fuse the traits of a part into your weapon, and it doesn't override what's on your weapon at the moment. It'll all make sense once we start making this thing, right? A couple of the other things that we want to stick on here is like soulbound, so that we don't drop the weapon when we die in battle. And there's a bunch of other things too that we're going to be sticking on here, okay? So that's going to be kind of interesting. Now, there's a bunch of other different things here that we can put on. If we look at the tool materials, let's have a look at what we're going to be making the sword out of. We're going to make it out of bone, which is going to give it fractured. It's going to increase the damage of our weapon by quite a lot, right? We're also going to be making the cross pattern out of paper, of course, which I told you adds writable, which gives us more modifiers. And we're going to be making the blade out of infinity, because, well, I spotted that there's still a bit of liquid infinity in our Tinker's smeltery, and this is going to give us Global Traveler, which will send stuff back into a chest, Brown Magic, which lets us make a portal or something, and Apocalypse. Our victim becomes moribund and is afflicted with increasing levels of wither. That sounds absolutely insanely OP. So let's start working on our blade over here at the smeltery, right? We're going to head over to the casting table and drop in the sword blade. And then let's see if we can find that little bit of infinity that is still in here. There it is. We still got a bit of infinity up in this business, man. Let's craft our blade out of infinity. And I'm not sure if this is actually still possible to do in the mod pack. I know that infinity has been kind of nerfed. Maybe we can still do it in Tinker's Construct, though. Either way, we're going to be able to make ourselves a beautiful infinity blade. Very nice. Okay, so let's put our rapier together. We've got our bone tool rod that's going to give us fractured. We've got the paper crossguard to give us a whole bunch of modifiers, and we've got the infinity sword blade giving us all of these things: Global Traveler, Brown Magic, and Apocalypse and Writable. There we we go. Infinity Rapier, baby. Look at this sucker. Well, it's not exactly the scariest looking weapon in the world, is it? It's more like a needle or something. Maybe we should name this thing Needle. That's probably what we're going to call it from Game of Thrones and from Lord of the Rings, I believe. I don't know. Jeez, I got my laws mixed up over there. Anyway, that's looking pretty good. Infinity Rapier, looking good. Now, I want to experiment a little bit over here. I haven't actually tried this yet, and I want to see if this is going to work. Let's make another sword blade out of manulin. I think we got some molten manulin in here too. Okay, so check this out, right? Let's go back to here to the materials. If we look at manulin for the head, it gives us insatiable. During combat, you deal more and more damage, but also consume more and more durability. Okay, so as you're attacking, you're dealing more damage. But as we've already seen in this series, we can actually make our weapon indestructible, right? So I'm thinking if we make ourselves a manulin blade and fuse it into our infinity rapier, so we will add insatiable to the weapon, we can then make it indestructible, right? And then it's actually not going to matter that it's going to be taking extra durability damage. It's just going to deal more damage, so to speak, right? Now, in order to do this, we need to do, let's go back to the modifiers over here. Embossment. We need to add all of this jayas into the tool, into this thing. No, is it into this thing? I think it is. So if we add this thing like so, a block of gold, the manulin sword blade, and what was the different slimes, right? There we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the different slimes, like that. There we go. It's going to add insatiable to it. Very nice. Okay. Now, I wonder if we can do the same thing with all of the other pieces of the weapon. I'm actually not sure about this. So say, for example, we picked up a I don't know, let's just look at a cobalt tool rod over here, right? If we try to do exactly the same thing, can you only add like one embossment to it? Maybe it's going to overwrite it. Let's have a look. Okay, there we go. Your tool has already has an embossment, so we can't add another embossment to it. All right, good to know. All right, so our sword's looking pretty damn fancy right now. Of course, what we need to do is make a bunch of these reinforcements to try and get it to an indestructible level. The problem that we're going to have, of course, is that the number of modifiers currently on our sword is not going to be enough to make it indestructible completely, I think. We also want to be throwing a whole bunch of other stuff onto our sword, right? Just to try and make it even better. So let's just make a few more of these things over here. But yeah, all of these things that you see on the side, these are the things that I want to add to my sword over here, right? So let's get the sword in here. A necrotic bone is going to make it necrotic. Give it lifesteal plus 10. Look how cool it looks too. That looks amazing. Shall we just name this thing now? Yeah, I'm going to name it Needle, okay? Beautiful. So we've added necrotic to it. We also want to add diamond to it, which is going to increase its durability. Actually, we don't really need to do that, do we? And if we add both of these, okay, never mind. I don't think we actually need the diamond. Let's add the nether star to it. I'm not sure what that's going to do again. Oh, it's going to make it soulbound, right? There we go. So now Needle is soulbound. Beautiful. And I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to add to it for now. Now, guys, I know that there are a bunch of you out there who are really good at Tinker's Construct, okay? And now is where you can actually help me out. If you know of a way to make this thing better than it already is, you hit me up in the freaking comment section below, okay? If I'm doing something wrong over here and you guys think of a better way that we can make this sword, please do let me know, okay? Now, we've got 2 more modifiers left over here, right? So let's start adding some reinforcement into this sucker. Needle's going to become unbreakable eventually, but I think we are probably out of... yeah, we are now out of modifiers over there. Okay, sweet. Well, we're pretty close there to reinforce 3 on Needle, so that's excellent. I'm wondering whether this thing does a ridiculous amount of damage now. Probably not, right? Let's head over into the nether, see if we can like hunt down some mobs to kill, and let's see how much damage this thing actually does. I'm thinking that we might need to set up some sort of an automatic like mob farm or something where we can level Needle up. Because the more that we level Needle up, the more modifiers we will open up, right? And then we'll be able to add more stuff onto Needle. And what we want to be doing is adding some damage onto it, which I didn't do. Shall we try and take out this massive spider over here? Hey, dude, what's up? Okay, it's not doing that much damage. Well, it did seem to do quite a lot of damage, actually. Jeez. A lot more damage than I thought it was going to do. Goodbye, spider. Get out of here, man. Do we one-shot Pigmen now? Oh my goodness, look at that. We absolutely slayed that fool. It didn't even make his friends angry. He died so quickly. His friends didn't even get angry. That's absolutely mental. Okay, so as far as fighting mobs are concerned, this sword is pretty much cooking with gas, baby. Yo, you better back up out of my personal bubble, dude, or this needle and your butt have got a date with destiny. Get out of here, man. Jeez. Just practicing what I'm going to say to Exhuman the next time I see him. Anyway, guys, welcome back, man. I've got a little something cooking over here, okay? I want to try and find a way to level up Needle as quickly as possible. I've had a look at the stats of this thing. 23 attack damage. That's it. That is kind of sad, right? Compared to the Sunblade, which does 519. We need to really work on increasing the damage of Needle. So here's what I'm thinking. Why don't we set up some sort of an Enderman grinding station right here next to the cow farm? I've already started working on a little bit of a design over here, and I think I've got everything in this box. Yeah, I do. I've got everything that I think we need in this box, right? I have shoved an Enderman into a powered spawner, and what I want to try and do with you guys now is set up a little bit of an Enderman farm. I think that Enderman give you the most amount of levels for Tinker's Construct weapons and items if you want to upgrade them. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. That's just what I've read, just what I've heard, okay? But we've got a whole bunch of interesting stuff over here. And by the way, we've also got this stuff over here that we're going to be using a little bit later on to try and drain the ocean of water. But we're not going to get to that just yet, guys. We're going to try and slay ourselves some Enderman. Firstly, I want to make myself a little bit of an Enderman chamber over here. I basically just want to spawn as many Endermen as possible in here and then just grind them with Needle, I guess. Just kill them over and over again. I guess another good way to do this would be to set up some sort of a slime island killing facility, because I think these Tinker's Construct weapons actually level up as you kill mobs, right? So the more mobs you can kill, the better. The problem with this weapon is I think it's a single target attack weapon. It's not like, I don't think it has like in Minecraft Vanilla where it hits lots of mobs at the same time, which is a little bit annoying. So I guess we probably, if we're going to be killing single targets, we probably want to be killing the targets that give us the most XP per kill. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Now, let's finish off this little chamber over here. I've got an energy conduit running into this thing, and that's connected up to the Iskallium reactor down there. So we're going to be getting power out of this thing over here, right? And this is where I want to install the powered spawner. Let's get it on top there for now. Probably turn it off, though. Activate active with signal. Okay, so it's not on right now, and there's 3 Endermen in here already. Shall we see how quickly we kill them? Okay, that didn't kill him instantly. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, it was 2 hits to kill an Enderman. Or 3 hits to kill an Enderman. Not exactly amazing. I guess we'll have to level Needle up to get a bit more damage onto it first. Those Endermen went out of the room, though, which is rather irritating. Anyway, so we've got the powered spawner here that's going to be producing the Ender Butts. Let's stick a vacuum chest on top of it, right, to pick up all the stuff that the Endermen drop. They're going to be dropping their heads and Ender Pearls and all of that good jazz. And maybe we can find a way to get that into the system. But what I want to do today is work with something called the Advanced Intermediate Conveyor. And this is pretty cool. I found this while I was doing some research for today. It's from Simply Conveyors and More. And to make this thing, you just need gold, a dropper, and some intermediate conveyors. To make intermediate conveyors, you need golden rollers, which are really easy to make, literally just golden ingots. And then you also need a track, which is made out of black leather, which you make by adding some ink sackage to leather. We're getting a ton of leather out of our cow farm, so it wasn't a problem to make these things. And take a look at this, man. These things are really, really sweet. I'm going to start right over here, and I'm going to make a conveyor belt that's going to push those Endermen to this position over here, right? Beautiful. Then we can start setting up some other conveyor belts on the side here that's going to push the Endermen into the delivery conveyor belt, like so. And then we need to do the same for the back of the chamber here too, right? So let's push everything in like that. And then I guess we just do it like this. And I love how they connect and stuff, right? I think these conveyor belts look so cool. We might be able to use these in a very interesting way in the Team Serious underwater base, right? Kind of getting inspired by these things, man. They're super cheap to make. Anyway, there we go. Then maybe we have like one there, and one there. I guess that'll work. Do I have... Oh, yeah, I put an octatic capacitor in this thing, too, a little bit earlier on, just to make it work a little bit faster, right? Now, the theory is, wherever an Enderman lands, he's eventually going to be pushed into this position for killage. And that looks like it's working perfectly. Just a little bit worried about these ones at the back. So let's test this one. Here we go, onto the conveyor. There we go. Okay, perfect. We're siphoning them into this position for murder. Let's add like a stone slab over here, I suppose, just to stop them seeing us, I guess. I don't even know if that works with Enderman, but there you go. That gives us direct access to them too. That's good. And I hear an Enderbutt chirping at me from somewhere. I don't know where he's chirping at me from, but he's around, and we seem to be dropping stuff into this chest now. Okay, so let's initiate the spawner over here, right? Let's get this going. Always active? Always active? Okay, sweet. What? No, what? No sig... Okay, there we go. The Endermen are coming out. I don't know what that thing was telling me. But there we go. We got a bunch of Endermen coming in here now. So that's good. We need to level this thing up, though, don't we? Pretty quickly. I mean, how many things do we need to kill? We've got 194 levels right now. Okay, this isn't quite working the way that I wanted to. Maybe if we add the slab here... That's going to be easier. All right, there we go. So now we can actually hit these things, but we don't seem to be doing a lot of damage to them right now. They seem to be teleporting away. Oh, wow. They're all... Okay. Yep, they're actually getting under the chamber right now, which is not good. I guess we'll need to level this thing up and then make it one-shot the Enderman, right? Then that's going to solve the problem of them actually going away like this. So how many more levels do I need on this thing? Okay, I need a couple more kills. Come at me, bro! Get out of here! Nice. You begin to feel comfortable handling the needle. That's good. Enderman, get out of my face. Okay, we've leveled it up finally, guys. Needle has gone up a level, which has given us another couple of modifiers, I suppose. I don't actually know how many more modifiers we've gotten out of killing those Endermen, but let's pick ourselves up a little bit of nether quartz. This is what we're going to use to upgrade the damage of this thing, and it actually stacks on top of itself too, which is amazing. So there we go. We've added some damage into it. Have we added? Oh, sharp 1. Okay, we can go all the way up to 72. Wow, okay. So what happens if we add the entire stack there? 64 out of 72. Very nice. I guess we could probably... Oh, that Enderman wants revenge, man. He is not happy that I was slaying him. Can we actually get all of the quartz onto this thing now? Do we have enough modifiers? Yes, we do. Okay, beautiful. That's going to give us an additional... what, 24? Was it 24 already? Did that give us like an additional 1 damage or something? I don't know. But that should hopefully be enough to one-shot the Enderman now. Let's get back to the farm and see how much more damage we're doing. That didn't feel like it gave it a whole bunch of damage, right? Not really. I mean, it kind of did some more damage to it, but it still feels like I could add more damage. Is that possible? Can I just add even more quartz onto this thing? I hope so, because right now, I'm not entirely happy with this thing. I gotta be honest, man. Saba diggity dogs. I think I done cracked the nut on leveling up Tinker's Construct items really easily in FoolCraft. I've been standing here killing Enderman for the last half an hour or so, getting a little bit annoyed by it, to be honest, because it's a single target that I have to attack, and standing here grinding these Endermen is kind of boring. So I thought, is there a way that we could actually automate this process, right? Is there a way that we could actually use some modded Minecraft goodness to automatically level up Tinker's Construct weapons? Well, guess what, guys? There is, and it's super simple. It's a mechanical user. The same thing that we've been using throughout this series. Basically, it acts as a left click automatically for you, right? So I've set it to entity and left click. Now, if I stick needle into the mechanical user, look at that. It starts hitting the Enderman in front of the mechanical user, and as you guys can see, it is gaining experience. It's gaining experience from killing the Enderman, and that is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, Needle is not doing enough damage yet to one-shot the Enderman, so basically the Endermen are just going all over the place, causing absolute chaos, picking up items and breaking the base of Team Serious, which is actually a really, really bad thing. So I need to get Needle leveled up to a point where we can one-shot the Enderman, and then we literally have a way to automatically basically gain levels on this Tinker's Construct weapon. I think as long as we can make it indestructible, right, I can then go AFK. I can just stand there and let Needle kill Enderman until it's at its highest possible level. And then we can use all of the modifiers that we'll get from that to make the most epic freaking weapon ever. I'm so proud of myself that I managed to figure this out, man. I know it's probably really obvious, and this is probably the way that loads of you guys do it, but for me, it's an achievement in itself that I actually managed to figure something out in Modded, man. I hope Daddy Iskal's proud. Experimentation continues, Cyberdogs. I am desperately trying to find a way to more efficiently murder these Endermen. I have made a couple of discoveries about them. Number one, they've got 44 hit points, right? Which means we need to deal at least 44 hit points of damage to one-shot them, and that's going to stop them teleporting out of the chamber when we stick Needle into the mechanical user. I've been trying a whole bunch of different things over here, and as you can see, man, this is a really important thing to make happen because these Endermen are causing absolute havoc around the base. They are tearing up blocks left, right, and center, doing ridiculous amounts of damage around here, and I can't keep doing this to seem serious, man. It's just not right that these Endermen are ripping up everybody's base. So I want to try a little something over here using the stone spike, right? And we use these stone spikes in our bovine killing factory. What happens if we stuck like a stone spike over here, for example? Are the Endermen going to land on that stone spike and start to take a bunch of damage and then get murdered by the mechanical user over there? Let's take a look at what happens when they land on the stone spike. I'm assuming that they're going to teleport away, like right away, but they might stand on top of it. They are actually standing on top of it. That's interesting. Okay, so if we turn this to always on, let's have a look. Is that going to kill them a little bit quicker? Kind of. It looks like they died a little bit quicker there, but not really. They kind of just teleport away instantly, don't they? So that's a little bit of a problem. There might be another way to do this, actually. I've got a plan. Let me see if I can cook something up here. I think this might just be a little bit too cute, cyberdiggity dogs, but I might have come up with a solution that is going to solve our problem of those Endermen flying out of the death chamber before Needle can kill them, right? I've been doing a lot of research on Tinker's Construct today, absolutely loving the mod, and I'm really enjoying getting deeper into it. Like, take a look at this, man. I found something called a broadsword. It's got a sweep attack, which is really handy, right? Now, what if there was a way that that broadsword could stop those Endermen from teleporting away? Well, guess what, my friends? There is a way to do it. If we make the blade, if we make the tool rod, excuse me, out of endstone, we are going to get something called interference. And basically what interference does is it interferes with the Endermans teleporting and it stops them teleporting away, right? So here's what I'm thinking. If we make an indestructible interference broadsword out of Tinker's Construct, and to do that, of course, we're going to need quite a few modifiers. What else do we need to make? We got the tool rod. We need the blade also, right? So I might as well just make the blade out of paper too, so we can have maximum modification on this thing. But if we make this broadsword indestructible, right, then it's going to sit in there and hit the Enderman at the same time as Needle will if we install another mechanical user. And that way, we could potentially farm those Endermen without them teleporting away. It's just a theory. It might be crazy enough to work. This, my friends, is an unbreakable paper broadsword. Those words should probably never be in the same sentence, as I don't understand how a sword can be made out of paper and be unbreakable. But hopefully this is going to do the business, guys. It's got interference on it, right? Which is exactly what we need to stop those Endermen from teleporting away. Now, I'm going to install that in the top mechanical user over there. Then I want to install a second mechanical user underneath this one. And oops, this is the one. Oh, geez. Okay. That was hitting me. Oh, the mechanical user actually hits you too, which is kind of interesting. Also, this is completely rammed up. Let's just ignore that for now, okay? We'll deal with that problem some other time. But let's install another mechanical user over here. This one is going to be holding Needle. So these two are going to be hitting the Enderman at the same time. The interference is hopefully going to stop the Enderman from teleporting away. And, well, there's only one way to figure out if this is going to work. Let's turn this sucker on. Always active. Let's have a look at those Endermen. That one looked like it teleported away. Kind of, I guess. I don't really know if they are. Are they teleporting away? It's difficult to tell, right? I think they're definitely teleporting less than they did before. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's because the broadsword is attacking slower than Needle or something like that. But it definitely seems to be stopping the Endermen from teleporting en masse out of the chamber. They seem to go back in as soon as they teleport out, right? Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that is so crazy. They just seem to go straight back to their original position. Guys, I think it's actually working. I think this is actually working the way that I want it to. Maybe that's how interference works. It makes the Endermen go all the way back to their original location, right? And let's have a look at Needle. Are you leveling up? No, you're not leveling up right now. Oh, because I haven't set it properly over here. So let's change this to Entity and left click. There we go. Now the Enderman should be dying pretty quickly, and Needle should be leveling up. There we go, baby. I think it's working, dudes. Look at this. Okay, there's one Enderman down there. There are a few that seem to be popping out, but I think I've stemmed the bleeding, so to speak. Nice! The epiphanies just keep rolling in, Cyberdogs. I just realized something about Needle that could be actually really useful. I've just been standing here waiting for it to level up a little bit. I've actually got it up another level or two since we last recorded. But of course, because Needle's blade is made out of infinity, it has Global Traveler, which of course means we can send all of the items that it kills or that it gets from killing into a chest, right? So I've set up a colossal chest up here. I'm going to shift right click, I believe, on the interface or on the core. There we go. And we've now linked the inventory to that colossal chest, right? Also, because this is a rapier, check this out, guys. If we right click, we actually do a little jump back. So we can be in combat with a fool and then do a little skip back, which I think is kind of sweet. Now let's see if this actually works. If I kill this Enderman, that Ender Pearl should have got sent up into this chest. And the Enderman head got sent up into it also. So that is amazing. We don't actually need that vacuum chest inside there now, do we? Because everything that Needle kills inside, it's just going to go straight into this colossal chest. Already 2 Enderman head in there. Fantastic, baby, fantastic. I still need to find a way, of course, to get Needle to one-shot kill these Endermen, because some of them are still flying out here, which is rather annoying. But we're definitely getting there, guys. So it's been pretty fun trying to make this weird mechanical user mob farm work with Endermen, guys. But I gotta say, man, it is just not as efficient as I would like it to be. So I'm gonna try something else. I have shoved a zombie pigman into a spawner over here, and I want to switch up our farm to kill zombie pigmen instead. My thinking is that we already saw earlier on today that Needle does one-shot zombie pigmen, right? It does actually kill them right away. And that should probably be all that we need to level Needle up. It's probably going to take a little bit longer to get those levels, but it's going to achieve the same thing in the end, right? So let's start spawning some zombie pigmen instead of Endermen. And let me get that octadic capacitor out of that one and shove it into this one. And yeah, we should see a significant increase in death. I just don't know how long it's going to actually take these pigmen to level Needle up. But we're only going to have to use one of these mechanical users now. So let's get Needle into the mechanical user. And there we can see the pigmen giblets. Wow, they are just dying so quickly, man. That is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I guess this is probably the better way to level up Needle over time. And I mean, it feels like it's a much more consistent flow of XP into this Needle, and probably this is the best way to do it. I need to add one more reinforcement to it to make it unbreakable, and then I can just literally leave it here to farm those pigmen. R.I.P. pigmen, man. It is like a pigman apocalypse up in here. There's just blood and stuff everywhere. That's absolutely disgusting. Anyway, pretty happy with that, man. We should be getting a bunch of gold also from these pigmen. Not that we need it, but hey, let's have a look. Are we collecting like anything of interest out of these pigmen? Hang on. Are we getting some sulfur, which I suppose is kind of interesting. But yeah, got a little bit of loot out of those Endermen. Pretty good. And let's see if I can get Needle reinforced, and then we can just let this farm run and figure out how we're going to drain the ocean. You know what I find absolutely hilarious about this project, guys? I was trying to find a way to automatically level up Needle, and in the process, I have created a massive mob farm. This thing is absolutely insane. Not only is it generating XP for me, but it is also killing the cows in a much more efficient way than before. Here we had a whole bunch of spikes, and here we now only have one spike. I've moved that cow spawner inside of this chamber, and we are now killing pigmen and cows with needle, just to try and increase that XP gain. We've also got a spike down there too, which is killing the baby pigmen that can't be hit by needle. But yeah, I've created this monstrosity of a mob farm that is actually producing a bunch of materials for us, including steak and leather and gold and a whole bunch of stuff. And at the same time, it's automatically leveling up our Tinker's Construct weapon. And I can now make needle unbreakable. And that means our little factory over here has just become infinite, right? I can literally just leave needle in here now for hours on end, and needle is going to grind away at these mobs, slowly leveling up over time. And it's probably going to take 10 hours or something, but eventually needle will have a bunch of XP that we can use to make needle even better than it is now. And that's all I want to do with needle today, guys. I can't wait to read the comments that you Tinker's Construct pros are going to show me in this episode. I'm sure that I've messed something up with needle, but hopefully it's not too late to fix her. And so far she's looking absolutely fantastic, right? I'm just going to let this sucker run now, guys. And yeah, now that she's unbreakable, I don't have to worry anymore. We're collecting all of the items. We're not going to lag the server, and we can focus on one final thing for today, guys, which is trying to find a way to empty out a huge portion of this ocean. I'm literally thinking like 128 blocks by 128 blocks, something like that. Something absolutely crazy. Well, you know what they say in the world of Minecraft, cyberdogs. If you can't fight the jank, embrace the jank. Or something. I don't actually know who they is either. I'm just gonna go with that story and stick to it, okay? I've made a super janky platform over here. I'm trying to make it look a little bit better than usual. But I gotta say, guys, it is about time that Team Serious starts working on a proper base, right? This is getting out of hand. For the last part of today's episode, we're gonna experiment with a little something called a builder from RF Tools. And I'm hoping that this builder is going to be what we need to empty out a huge portion of the ocean. I'm thinking like 128 by 128, right? A nice massive space for a base. So I've got an energy cable over here. Needle is just getting leveled up as we speak. I've done a little bit more wiring up there, trying to filter out the items, but I've had enough of that project for now, man. Let's find a way to automate the removal of ocean. This is going to be kind of cool. I think I've worked out something quite fun that we can do over here, guys. Let's pull up the recipe for the builder. This is from RF Tools, and it's pretty easy to make, man. We need some bricks, some redstone, a machine frame, and an ender pearl. Machine frame is just blue dye and iron ingots and gold nuggets or lapis. Very, very easy to make. Super cheap. But what we're also going to need are these things called cards, right? Let's have a look at these recipes over here. We got our normal shape card over here, which is made from bricks, iron, redstone, and paper. And then we've got something called a void card, which is made out of a shape card, obsidian, and ink, right? Now, using these three very simple things, we are going to be able to, well, hopefully find a way to clear out this water. Let's start by placing down, or by crafting. That's probably a good place to start. The crafting. I need a crafting table, though, which I think is over here. Yeah, I'm just going to steal this crafting table over here. Jeez, man, so much destruction going on in that chamber. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's make some things for us, shall we? Some things and some stuffs. Let's start with the builder itself. Let's make ourselves this builder. I think I've got everything that I need. Oh, I need an ender pearl. That's awkward. I think there's a bunch of ender pearls in here from where we were slaying the enderman. Yes, I thought I was prepared for this segment, but apparently not. All right, there we go. We've got everything that we need. The builder block. Nice. Let's place this puppy right over here. Okay, now it's got some power. We got the Bob the Builder advancement. Very nice. I like it. And take a look at this thing. It's kind of complicated. I know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Lucky for you guys, the ReNDoG has done the research already. So I'm going to basically do everything for you guys. You don't have to worry about that, okay? We are going to need a chest, though. And clearly, I could have been more prepared for this. But you know what? It's, well, approaching my dinner dinner time, and I've been playing modded all day long, so the brain is starting to shut down slowly but surely. But we're almost there, guys. Let's just make a chest over here. This chest is going to be the place that we're going to put stuff into the builder, right? So let's pop a chest on top of the builder like this. Okay, so let's do a bit of experimenting. Let's start with the shape card. This is going to be the first thing that we use. I'm going to stick some prismarine bricks in here, and let's see if we can actually work something out over here. Now, the way that this is going to work, right? Let's say that the prismarine bricks, let's say that this is ocean, right? This is ocean over here, a small representation of the ocean that we're trying to get rid of. Basically, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a wall around this ocean, right? Something like this. And then we're going to have to remove the ocean from inside of the wall, right? If we don't do it that way, then when we remove all of the ocean, what's going to happen is the water's just going to flow back in from all the sides. So we kind of have to do a sort of Moses over here, right? We got to part the ocean, so to speak, so that we can get rid of the water, and then we can have a nice open space to work with, so that we can build our base in there. So what I think we should try and do over here, let's use the shape card. Excuse me, dude. I'm busy, man. I'm busy over here. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm going to have to sleep the night away. Frickin' zombies interrupting me. Can I just get this segment done, please, modded Minecraft? My goodness, man. Blood all over the dance floor, baby. Anyway, so we can actually use this this builder to do lots of different things. We can use the builder to build stuff, which is kind of cool, and that's what we're going to do first, right? Let's use the shape card to actually build something. So say, for example, we just stick the shape card in here, right? Let's just stick it in here. Oh, by the way, let's start from the beginning. If we right-click on the shape box, you can see that you can sort of set dimensions for a solid box. There's a whole bunch of other shapes that you can make too, which is kind of interesting. But we're just going to go for a box over here, right? So if we stick the shape card in here, right? There it is. If we click on this thing to preview, oops, we'll actually see that it does do like a little preview for us, but yeah, hello. Okay, there we go. It actually makes these blocks that does a little bit of a preview. This has built the box around the builder though, right? Which isn't exactly how we want it to work. So we're going to do something kind of cool over here. We're going to hold down shift, right click on this thing, and now this thing has created like a yellow box over here, right? Let's try and make some ocean to start with, right? Let's try and make some fake ocean. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to make a 3x3 amount of ocean, right? And using this thing, we're going to click on top here. This is going to be the top of the ocean, or rather, let's do something like this, right? We want to make like a 3x3 ocean. So this is going to be the very top. So what we have to do is specify corners of the square, right? And then what that builder will do is automatically make it for us. So let's try specify some corners, right? The first corner is going to be up here. So let's pop that over there. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted. Let's do this again, actually. I think we can reset it, right? There we go. So we want this to be corner number 1, and we want this to be corner number 2. Right? Now that's going to theoretically make a box of prismarine bricks for us over here. So let's install that and let's preview it and have a look at what it's going to look like. Let's preview there. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So now we've got a box of ocean that's been created, right? But this is what I think we should do. Maybe we should make the outside box first and the ocean inside it. Actually, we can just do that manually, all right? So check it out. Now what we need to do is do a single run. So we'll do a run, and we actually need a lever for this also. So give me one moment. Ah, here's a lever. Nice. We're just going to borrow this lever from the salt factory over here, and let's turn the builder on. Boom. It just made a beautiful square for us. Never mind that cut, cyber diggity dogs. There were a couple of things that I had forgotten for this segment, and I should now have everything that we need to finish this thing off, okay? So, we've got a bit of a fake ocean over here, right? This prismarine represents the water that we're trying to get rid of. I think what we're going to have to do when we actually create this giant freaking monstrosity in the ocean is we're going to have to create a massive block of some block using the builder that is going to empty out the ocean, right? So we're going to replace a huge area of the ocean with, say, cobblestone or sand or whatever block we have a huge abundance sense of, right? We're then going to have to do something a little bit manual, which is going to take quite a long time, but using builder's wands, I think it should go pretty quickly. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a square of solid blocks all around the solid block that we created with the builder, right? And that's because, of course, we need to empty out the very center of this giant square that we're making, right? But as you guys can see, if we use builder's blocks like this, or the builder's wand, rather, we should be able to make this pretty quickly. Maybe Stress and Scar and I can do it together, and that way we can get the walls built really, really quickly, though, right? Because, yeah, if it's gonna be like 128 by 128, well, it's gonna be a lot of blocks and a lot of builder's wands needed. But once we have surrounded the solid block that we create with the builder with another block type, we can then literally just come and stand on top of this bad boy and vein mine it away, right? And that is going to leave us with an empty void of ocean in the very center. Now, there is another way that we could potentially do this, which is kind of interesting, and I'm going to try figure out a way of doing this. The only problem that I have with this is that I'm not sure if we can make like an empty box like this using the builder. I have to look a little bit more into it, but say, for example, we found a way just to make the walls like this, right? So say we made a giant wall, 128 by 128 of whatever, glass, prismarine, whatever we wanted it to be, right? We could actually use the builder to void the ocean by using this thing called the shape card void, right? We're going to do exactly the same thing that we did with the shape box, except this time we are going to specify an area of blocks to actually remove, right? So take a look at this, right? If we start all the way up here, we're going to shift right click on the builder, boom, and what we're going to do is come up here to the top, right click over there. That's going to be corner number 1. Corner number 2 is going to be down here, right? Now we've set up a bunch of blocks. This entire section should now be set to void. So if we install the void card into the builder like this, and we flick that on, baby, boom, all of those things should get voided. I think it takes a little bit of time. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's turn it on. There we go. There we go. You see that? All of the blocks disappeared out of the very center. And that way, we can actually just void all of the ocean. Now, I'm not sure which way is going to be quicker. I guess the voiding will be quicker. The only problem is going to be creating this wall automatically using the builder. I'm not entirely sure if there is a way to do that. There might be. If we have a look at the shape card, we can make these solid blocks. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Bottom dome, we can make a sphere, we can make a cylinder, we can make a sphere. That's kind of interesting. What other kind of cards are available? Let's have a look. There's a bunch of cards. The rest are mining cards. Why don't we just do a little experiment over here? Like, what does a sphere look like, right? Or a cylinder, solid cylinder. Let's have a look. Top dome, bottom dome. What does a sphere look like? Is a sphere completely like filled in? I'm not entirely sure. Let's do a bit of experimenting. Let's right click over here. Let's add another block over here, I guess. And this is going to be corner. Probably have to go a little bit higher for a sphere. This is going to be corner 1. It's going to be corner 2, right? Let's install it. And let's have a look what that does. I'm guessing it's going to make like a solid sphere. Let's preview that. Well, it made a solid block, so that doesn't really help either. I guess what we could do, actually, is get a little bit clever with the wall making. Okay, I've got an idea, because just doing exactly what we did here, right? What if we made the walls like this, right? Instead of making a square first, we just make the walls first. So we come here with these solid blocks, and in the ocean, we'll build up one pillar, like all the way up to that point, right? Like all the way from the surface of the ocean to the top. Then we can specify, we could probably just use solid box here, right? Let's, oops, nope, that's the wrong one. Let's shift right click on this thing. Let's say that's the top. Let's just put one more on top. So that's corner 1. This is corner 2, right? That should, in theory, make a wall. Let's have a look. Yes, that is going to make a wall. Amazing. Okay, so check it out. We can actually make the wall, but we need blocks in here. There we go. That's actually going to make the wall. So this way is going to be super easy to do, right? We can actually do this really, really simply, because all we'll need to do is at the bottom of the ocean, specify where we want the walls to be. I mean, all we need to do now is do exactly the same on this side, right? So this is going to be corner 1. That's going to be corner 2. Let's install that sucker and give it a run. and that did not work for some reason. Let's have a look. Oh, it's on preview mode. Okay, let's turn it on. Oh, is there no prismarine in here? That's why. Okay, there we go. There we go. It made the wall. And how fast did it make it too? That's unbelievable. So we could actually do it this way after a little bit of trial and error. I figured it out. So we make a wall at a time, right? So we make the wall, then the wall, then the wall, then the wall, and then we void all of the ocean within the freaking walls. That's actually gonna work, dudes. That is amazing. Okay, next episode. That's the first thing that we're gonna do, is we're gonna try and work this out. Now that I've actually figured out how it works, we'll be able to come here and remove a huge section of ocean. That's going to be awesome. So make sure you come back for that, guys. It is going to be a sweet. But unfortunately, we've run out of time for today. Spent most of the day on this horrible contraption, which is still doing the murder. And let's have a look at the progress of Needle over here. Wow, it's already up to Grandmaster. Amazing. That's going to give us a couple more modifications that I can add to it. I'm probably just going to go AFK now for a couple of hours, go have a bath, have some dinner, have something to eat, and see how much more I can level up Needle. And hopefully in the next episode, guys, Needle will be completely leveled up. Get lightsabered! Wow, that creeper literally evaporated. That was absolutely epic. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, man, and I can't wait for all of you tinkers professionals to let me know what I've done wrong with Needle. And hopefully we can actually get it to be a really good weapon. Thanks for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed it, you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, you hit the subscribe button, because next episode, we're emptying out an ocean, and it is going to be sweet. ReNDoG signing out. We'll smell you all in the next episode.